replacements are from year to year. I moved them into capital this year, which is where we would take them out of. And, but we have to show that, and that's again something that'll help us when we go for a bond rating. It's a long-term liability. So any questions on the revenue stream for general? Real solid revenue stream. If we could turn to page 88. Page 88 is the administrative fund, and you'll see that the there is an increase from the year-end budget from $500,000 to $540,000. The big reason for that is, as you know, we eliminated a position, a part-time position, but we added accounting fees. So if you look at the second category of numbers, contractual services, you'll see that that's going from $22,000 to $42,600. We hired an accounting service to take over for that full-time position. We're just trying to get everything squared away on that. That's one of the big increases. Other than that, things are pretty static and just about the same in every line item here. I'd like to point out the differences, but and I actually put it under audit, which was the one category we had. So we have it for our audit is about $22,000 or about $20,000. And this will be about $22,000 that we're adding in for accounting. Any questions on the other?
Why is the legal going down that low?
Well, legal's going down because we've got, well, it's not going down that low, is it? It's going from 53,000 to 60,000?
I was looking from 212, it was 217, 100, now 53.
Yeah, from year-end previous year, we'll go from 53 to 60,000. I don't know, maybe we should
I was
take,
looking at 13, 14, where it was 100.
maybe we could get more of an increase from our attorney. What do you think? It's the only question that came up.
But they were complaining it was too low.
Oh, I got
It's
you.
not friendly work. These people.
Any other questions on admin? If not, I'd like to turn it over to Fred. Police is on page 59.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem, Board of Trustees, and looking at the police department's budget, you can see that we are moving from 561 up to 680. The majority of that increase is actually in the salary level area. And the reason for that is we have a proposal to increase the staffing of the police department by one person. We're currently staffed at 10 sworn positions and 3 part-time. We're proposing an increase to 11 full-time positions. The new position that we are proposing in this budget is an investigator, officer in charge position. What we've discovered is that over the last couple of years, we've seen a pretty significant increase in criminal investigations, particularly in the area of thefts, of significant thefts. For example, just over the last couple of years, we've had losses at some of the warehouse distribution centers that several of them were well over $1 million in cargo and product. We had a couple that were well in the hundreds of thousands of dollars of range. So these significant criminal investigations have really taxed our manpower by taking people off patrol assignment and assigning them to do these follow-up investigations. So we feel the need to add an investigator to assist us with these long-term investigations on these cases that are coming up from time to time. We also feel that this additional person could act as an officer in charge or an OIC in a uniform capacity when they're not assigned to criminal investigations, when they're not doing follow-up work. Then that person would be out on the street in a supervisory or lead officer capacity, I should say. We think that will help, particularly in the late evening hours and midnight shift where our officers are really relying on calling myself or Commander Kerr when there are supervisory questions that come up. This would allow the OIC to actually lead them and give them some direction instead of waiting for someone to respond to them via telephone. So that salary increase, or that position increase, would be about $45,230 plus benefits. Basically, what we would do is we would assign an investigator, OIC, from our existing staff. So a selection would occur internally in the department from one of our experienced seasoned officers, and then we would hire at the entry level to replace that vacancy in patrol, bringing us up to a full-time staff of 11. Moving on in the budget then, if you could please turn to page 67. And I'd like to point out, we have built in the budget a live scan yearly maintenance fee right at $4,458. Just to remind you that we just purchased that live scan machine. We purchased it back in March. It was delivered in April. We're still in the process of connecting the live scan fingerprint system with the Bureau of Identification and the Illinois State Police. We're very close to completing that connection, working with Will County 911. So we'll probably defer that maintenance back towards the end of next year. But it's there just in case we needed it to complete this year. Certainly, with the purchase of the machine, we do have a year warranty on it, and we would not have to implement that maintenance program. But we built it in the budget mostly as a safeguard. Moving on to page 83. At the top of the page on 83, you'll see central management services at a cost of $3,427. That's for our IWIN mobile data terminals that are in our squad cars. Right now, we pay about $54 per month. We have 5 units in the fleet right now. Will County 911 is very close to rolling out a new log records management system and a new computer-aided dispatch system. They believe that they'll roll out this new system November 4th, so coming up here in the fall. And when they complete that rollout, it should greatly reduce our central management services payments there. The connectivity that Will County 911 is working on would actually eliminate any IWIN fees that we pay to the state of Illinois. So we hope to see some cost savings there. Moving on to page 85. Some significant expenditures that we have in the budget. On the top of the page, evidence shelving unit and evidence cold storage unit. Right now, our central evidence storage is secured in the Public Works wastewater treatment plant building. And we've identified a need to move that evidence storage into our main headquarters here, right into the police station. And to make that move and to secure that evidence, we would then add some storage units in the basement portion of the police department, add some security features that would be Department of Justice certified and approved, and then we would also add some security features to the evidence being stored at the station there. Moving on down the line items, a couple of rows down, you can see we have a need to add $15,000 for interview room video system. The department has a current system that is basically outdated and antiquated. It needs significant upgrades at this point. Originally, the system that was installed in the police station here was designed for